Homecoming Saturday as the Cougars take on the visiting Lakeland Muskies. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you today, and on the call, Peter, last weekend the Cougars had a rough one on the road in Rockford. They outrushed the Regents 204 yards to 121, but really that passing offense by the Regents led by their senior quarterback Jalen Ray was too much to handle as the Cougars fell 35-13.
That's right, Carter. In addition, the Cougars did outpossess the Regents by nearly 10 minutes, which has been a common theme for the team throughout the season. They are outpossessing other teams, but just like we saw against Rockford, that is not translating to too many wins for the Cougars. In addition, the Cougars also forced and recovered 2 fumbles, so a good day in that department for the defense. The Cougars' only touchdown against Rockford came from a 10-yard rush from running back DeAndre Daniels in the second quarter.
That was the first time the Regents beat the Cougars since October 14th of 2017. I want to touch on one player you just mentioned. DeAndre Daniels, a senior running back, has been really the focal point of the offense throughout this year. He had 87 yards in the game against Rockford, as well as 2 passing receptions for 14 yards. It's really seemed like since his emergence on this team and after he came back from his injury in the early going, Andy Lambert and the offense have really been trying to give him the ball.
That's right. Daniels, a transfer from Southwestern Oklahoma State University, has been electric for the Cougars this year. On 67 attempts, he's been rushing for 466 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also added 132 yards through the air and 1 touchdown in that department.
Well, we talked about the Cougars enough. We're going to take a break, and we'll give you the visiting Muskies scouting report here on the Cougar Pregame Show.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome back to the Cougar Pregame Show. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you in coverage throughout the game today. And now, Peter, let's talk about the visiting Lakeland Muskies. They're 4-1 in the season, and last week suffered their first loss in conference to an opponent that is pretty fairly well known, Benedictine University. They lost by a score of 54-40.
That's right. Senior quarterback Chartez Nunnery threw for a whopping 346 yards and 4 touchdowns, but the Muskies still fell to the Eagles. The Eagles put up 523 yards of total offense on the Muskies. The Muskies only maintained possession of the ball for 18 minutes and 19 seconds of the game. Still managed to put up a whole 40 points, though, on the Eagles. So, like you're saying, Carter, definitely a high-flying, fast offense. They did allow the Eagles to convert on 66% of their third down, so that'll be something to keep an eye on today against the Cougars. And Larry Rivers, running back for the Muskies, rushed for 131 yards and a touchdown.
Larry Rivers is a big name if you follow NAC football because he's one of the most predominant and powerful running backs in the conference, and he's been setting some really high and record-breaking numbers for these Muskies.
So you can say that again, Carter. He's senior from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. He's rushed 103 times this season for a whopping 800 yards. He's got 10 touchdowns through the ground as well. Through the air, he's got 14 receptions for 135 yards and a touchdown. His 160 rushing yards per game not only leads all of the NAC conference, it's third in the nation in Division III football.
Big deal there, and that's going to be a stopping point for sure for the Cougars if they want a chance to win this game. We'll take one final break. We'll bring you Peter's 3 and Out segment before the game as well, and we have more coverage of Cougar football here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, and I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
We are moments away from opening kickoff here in River Forest between the Cougars and the Muskies. It's homecoming weekend, a golden legacy. And Peter, right now, if the Cougars want to start a new legacy under Coach Andy Lambert, you're going to have to follow your 3-and-out tools for the game.
That's right. Well, my first one, Carter, you got to let DeAndre Daniels work. As we said earlier, he is the focal point of this offense. He's been the most consistent player on this offense. If they want to beat the Muskies today, they're going to need to give him space to get the ball in his hands, because when those two things come together, Daniels always makes something special happen. Next up, the Cougars O-line is going to need to step up as well, especially to help Daniels out, but to also slow down 3 of the Muskies defenders who rank top 5 in sacks in the NAC. So O-line for the Cougars really going to need to step up to keep Daniels safe, also keep the quarterback safe for the Cougars. And finally, and it'll be a tall task for the Cougars, but that front 7 is going to need to slow down Rivers from the Muskies. Just like Daniels is the focal point of the Cougars offense, Rivers is the focal point of the Muskies offense. So if you can take him out of their game plan, that's a good way to ensure a win.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
It's a 4-1 Muskies team full of a lot of seniors versus a 2-3 Cougars team with a lot of underclassmen and inexperience, but it's homecoming week and you don't know what's going to happen here. Peter, you got the memo of Golden Legacy for sure. Great polo. Quick fact about today's game, the last time the Cougars won at home here at Concordia Stadium was October. It's football time here in River Forest, Illinois, on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago. The visiting Lakeland Muskies coming to town on homecoming weekend and look to take one from the Concordia University Chicago Cougars. Carter Gledhill with you on the call today, and we've got a good one in store for you. The Cougars last week traveled to Rockford University and fell by a score of 35-13. Despite their rushing efforts, they couldn't keep the Rockford Air Raid offense under control. They fall to a record of 2-3 on the season and are still winless in conference and look to change that around today against the conference opponent in the Muskies. Lakeland, on the other hand, went to Benedictine University last week, lost 54-40, and it was a back-and-forth affair until the Eagles pulled away late. Here today, though, we're going to see an explosive Muskies offense led by senior quarterback Chartels Nunnery and senior running back Larry Rivers. That totals 529 yards of offense per game, puts him at the top of the NAC, as well as 7th in Division III. For the Cougars, offensively, they rely heavily on their senior running back DeAndre Daniels from Southwestern Oklahoma State. In his transfer season so far in the year, Daniels has 67 carries for 466 yards, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns. The Cougars, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, are wearing the maroon tops, gold helmets, and gold pants. On the far side, the Muskies, white top, white pants, and their navy blue helmets. The Cougars, coached by Andy Lambert in his first season at the helm of the program, won their first 2 games of the season and then have dropped the last 4. So as we await the opening kick, it's homecoming week, as we mentioned, on campus. It's Golden Legacy. The men's soccer team got us started this morning as they defeated Wisconsin Lutheran College 4-0. And the Cougars will be taking the opening kickoff. Kicker Ryan Auer will be doing the kicking duties for the Cougars. Back to receive in the middle of the three men back for the return is Devin Martin, the freshman wide receiver from Conyers, Georgia. One thing about the Cougars is that they like to do a little pooch kick to start off the game, and they keep doing that if they can find a middle. So the Muskies prepare with 5 guys on the front line, and they just do that. Auer's kick to the 30. Picked up and a good return that brings it out to the 40, and he's still going. Brings it across midfield. Is that with Gabriel Maynes, sophomore running back from El Paso, Texas, with the carry. So the Lakeland offense, as we mentioned, powerful and explosive, best in the NAC with 529 yards per game. Choltez Nunnery with 54% completions and 15 touchdowns on the season, and he's accompanied by Larry Rivers in the backfield, the 5'10", 175 running back from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Nunnery with the option pitch to Rivers. Gets a good move, brings it up, brought down by Dudley. Around to the 43-yard line. Flag flies early on the first play, and we'll wait to hear from the officials what the call is. Holding on the offense, number 7, Bryce Kennedy, was called, so a 10-yard penalty brings back the run from Rivers. It'll set up 1st and 10. Cougars defense on the year has been pretty good against the rushing game, only allowing 113 yards a game. But they're in a tall task with Rivers, who is 4th in Division III with rushing yards per game. Pass completed across the middle. Cougars chase it down outside. Pass hauled in by number 89, Mason Prunick. It'll bring it to 2nd and 5. Lakeland with the hurry-up offense. Nunnery out to his man on the side, Kensey. He gets the first down and a little more. That'll move the chains. Quick movement from the Lakeland offense. Cougars rely heavily on their secondary, especially their safeties. Brendan Baugh leads the team with 29 tackles and 22 solo. Nunnery's going to take it himself, bounce it outside, gets another man, makes a man miss, gets tripped up on the outside. It'll be 2nd and 4. This Muskies offense, fast-paced. Little bubble screen out to the right side. Goes up, gets the first down. Larry Rivers was the one on that. They split him out. Rivers also has 135 yards receiving and 1 receiving touchdown on the season. And 2 quick first downs from the Muskies. Sets up shop at the 30-yard line. Nunnery drops back, stands in the pocket, finds a man across the middle, and it was Prunick again. Gain of 8, it's 2nd and short. Nunnery hands it off to Rivers. Nothing to do in the middle. He's brought down by number 42, Trayvon Thomas. 3rd and short for the Muskies. 47% on the season for converting 3rd downs. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers stacked left. Hand off to Rivers, breaks it up the middle. Tyler Dudley on the tackle. 1st down, Lakeland. The one kind of offense right now with Muskies at the fast pace, the Cougars can't substitute. So a lot of the bigger bodies on the front line and then the secondary and linebackers can't sub out as much as you would like. Trips to the right side. Nunnery hands it off to Rivers. Rivers brings it up the middle. Gain of about 7.
Rivers on the carry, brought down by number 91, Martin Ekball, second down.
29 rushing yards so far for Rivers. Little flick pass to him on the right side. He's going to be short of the first down marker.
Rivers on the pitch. Tripped up.
Rivers will come out and take a breather.
Short gain. Third down, Muskies.
Gabriel Manies will come in for Lakeland. 3rd and short, Nunnery. Fakes the handoff, takes him himself, makes 2 men miss, goes to the pylon, touchdown. Chartez Nunnery with a touchdown, his 4th rushing touchdown on the season. Lakeland's up 6-0 in a quick-paced first drive to open up the game.
Cortez, Nunnery, and quarterback keeper for a touchdown, Muskies.
Read option there from Nunnery. He was able to get out of the defensive end and the linebacker in containment and then cut it up the sideline to get Lakeland's first score of the game. Kick is up and good. From Peyton Dahlman, the sophomore kicker from Louisiana. So just like that, the Muskies go up 7 in their opening drive. Took 3 minutes and 31 seconds for the Muskies to put up points on the Cougars. Now it's time for the Cougars offense to answer. And so far for the Cougars offense, it's been struggles throughout the year. In a lot of their categories, they rank near the bottom of the conference. They almost average 300 yards a game. Most of their offense comes from rushing. And their passing game is, since the switch to their new quarterback, Troy Prattley, the freshman, has been a little bit deeper. But it started with Jordan Sepulveda, the senior, a lot of swing passes and short gains. Really focusing on the screens as well, using the speed of a lot of these Cougar receivers to get into open field and try to make men miss. Kicking off for Lakeland will be Andrew Colley, but he's going to have to reset the ball after the wind knocks it down. Good gusts of wind here at Concordia Stadium. It's a brisk afternoon, about 55 degrees. Starting to see flannels and all the fall attire come into the stands. Squib kick attempt, goes off the foot and out of bounds. It'll be a penalty. Colley tried to catch the Cougars off guard. It'll give the Cougars good field position though. As Coach Andy Lambert gathers the men into a huddle and sends them out on the field for their opening drive. Troy Prattley, freshman, made his debut last week. 17 passes completed for 33 yards. Excuse me, 123 at 33 attempts. As well as Prattley, they use him in the rushing game. 51 rushes on the year for 104 yards. They'll start him here. Pitch option out to Daniels. Daniels has a blocker. Daniels makes a man miss. Knocked out of bounds. It's a 11-yard gain for Daniels. And a quick pickup of a first down. Three freshmen starting on the line for the Cougars. They use a tight end package as well with Trey Warden. So the Cougars on the 33-yard line set up shop. Daniels lowers the shoulder. Gains 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Here by DeAndre Daniels. Brought down after a short game by 41. Charlotte over. 2nd down, Cougars.
Cougars are able to get a lot of their offense generated on big momentum plays. They rely heavily on Daniels, as well as Ty McKinney, one of the receivers. And he gets the passes here. McKinney jukes over the middle of the field. He's brought down at the 13-yard line. It's a Cougars first down. He's coming off a big game as he had a season high of 114 yards against Eureka. Leads the team with 18 receptions, 297 yards as well. 4 touchdowns, so he's a red zone threat. Lakeland defenders will be sure to watch him. Currently right now, Rayshawn Brumfield is on him. Pradley stumbles over his feet, trips up, gains about 1.
Pradley tripped up on the keeper by 24. Augustin Diaz, 2nd down.
Augustin Diaz credited with the tackle, picking at the shoelaces of Pradley. 2nd and 9. Ball placed on the 12-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Warden just off the line on the left. Man in motion. It's McKinney. Pradley pulls it back. Gets a pile push up the middle. He'll gain 8. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Good vision by Pradley to pull it instead of giving it the jet sweep. Goes right up the gut. Gains a big chunk. Sets up 3rd and short for the Cougars. Cougars have struggled with 3rd down though on the season. 26% conversion. When they have gotten in the red zone, 13 of their drives, 7 have resulted in touchdowns. Man in motion, moving Warden to the other side. Now they send McKinney. Fumble, McKinney loses it, it's on the ground, picked up by Lakeland. Lakeland has it, and it's picked up and brought all the way to the 30. Jason Wilder was able to scoop up the missed fumble, as it looked like McKinney never got a good grab on it from the exchange from Pradley. And just like that, Lakeland stumps the Cougars and pushes it out of deep in their territory. Ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. Early miscue from the Cougars offense, trying to double up on the jet sweep. Handoff to Rivers. Met by a wall of Cougars. And Tyler Dudley pulled the ball out, but the ref blew the whistle, signaling forward progress was stopped. So no fumble for the Cougars. Tyler Dudley stripped it out of Rivers' hand. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Rivers rush, brought down by 34, Tyler Dudley, 2nd down.
But Tyler Dudley already making his presence known, the senior linebacker from Katy, Texas. 2 Cougars chase him down. Nunnery escapes the pocket, throws it away as he's knocked out of bounds. Martin Egbo and Jeremiah Glenn were the 2 Cougars in pursuit of Nunnery. Nothing he could do there but throw it away and protect himself.
Incomplete pass. 3rd down, Muskies.
3rd and 10 for the Muskies. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. They fake the handoff, play action, chasing him down, and brought down in the backfield. Justin Aduo with the first sack of the game. Aduo gets his first sack of the season and stumps the Lakeland offense, as that's the kind of play the Cougars needed after that turnover on their opening drive. Muskies punt it away. High kick, Christian Covington with the fair catch. Flags fly. Covington catches the ball at the 35-yard line. We'll await to see what the officials say. Holding on the Cougars is the call. They'll back them up another 10 yards. Big stop, though, for the Cougars defense. Huge sack from Justin Aduo. Cougars were able to get deep inside of the red zone. But again, on that fumble from Ty McKinney, stopped short. They hand it off to Daniels. Gain of about 3. Brought down by Shazon Crutcher.
21 DeAndre Daniels brought down after a short game by number 6, Shazon Crutcher.
Crutcher leads the team with 48 total tackles. He's got 2 sacks, 30 solo tackles as well. One thing the Cougars have to watch out for is that front line. Otis Watts, DJ Tomlinson, and Chris Daniels is a force to be reckoned with as Watts leads the NAC with 6 sacks. Pradley on the QB draw. Met and brought down by number 41, Carlos Ozales. Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Cougars. McKinney's the lone receiver on the bottom side. Covington in motion, coming to near. Pradley rolls out of the pocket, finds Daniels, steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Or might put it at the 38, actually. It'll be first down for the Cougars, and they move the chains. First and 10 on the 38 for the Cougars. Pradley hands it off to Daniels. Sidesteps, runs into a wall of blue. Crutcher was in on the tackle. Met by Tomlinson as well.
Daniels with the carry, brought down by the 9, Ryan Jackson, 2nd down, Concordia.
Mentioned Andy Lambert in his first season as the Cougars head coach. He has a 24-season coaching resume. Last coached as Southern Nazarene from 2016 to 2020. And a timeout is taken by the Cougars, their first of the game and the half. We'll take a quick break. 7-0 Muskies, 4:46 remain in the first quarter of this homecoming Saturday here at Concordia, Chicago. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Carter Gledhill with you, bringing you the Lakeland Muskies versus Concordia University Chicago Cougars here on a Saturday afternoon in River Forest, Illinois. Prattley fakes the handoff to Daniels, has McKinney, but he has a seam, and he has open field to the 30, to the 25, and he's chased out of bounds. Nathan Carranza pushes out Prattley, but a beautiful read by the freshman quarterback, gains a big chunk of yards and puts the Cougars on the other side of the field. Ball placed at the 21-yard line, a 39-yard gain from Troy Prattley. McKinney in motion. Whistles fly, flags do as well. False start on the Cougars. One of the offensive linemen moved too early. Moves the Cougars back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. Coach Jack Russman signaling in the plays from the sideline. From the coach Jason Aubrey era. Snap fumbled, and another flag is flown. Another false start penalty, back-to-back on the Cougars. And they're moving in the wrong direction right now. After what was a beautiful pickup of 39 yards by Troy Prattley, has suddenly moved the Cougars back all the way to the 31-yard line. Prattley rolls left, hands off to Daniels. Comes back, and he's met by Chris Daniels, the sophomore from Cedar Grove, Wisconsin.
Second down.
Gain of 2 on the play. Two receivers left. Motion left. Handoff to Daniels. Tackle by Leandre Townsend. Another chunk of yardage picked up. Sets up 3rd and long though for the Cougars. 2:46 remain in the opening quarter here in homecoming Saturday at CUC. First quarter's not always a good one for the Cougars. They've only scored 27 points throughout the year. Opponents have scored 47. They're looking to change that as they've put together a nice drive and look to convert here. Ward in motions right. Handoff to Daniels, and he's brought down in the backfield. Otis Watts, tackle for the loss, and the senior. Now his 7th tackle for a loss on the season, and they'll send out the field goal unit. Ryan Auer, the freshman from Memwart, Ohio. He's attempted 3 field goals on the year. His long is a 45. This will be 46. Kick is up, and no good. Far right, just missed the upright. So the penalties to start the drive that was pushed into Lakeland territory after the 39-yard rush from Troy Prattley. 2 false starts at the beginning. Stalled all momentum for the Cougars. Now the Muskies will take the field for the 3rd time in this quarter. Larry Rivers, the workhorse for the Muskies. 37 yards on 6 carries. Nunnery pitches it to Rivers. Goes up the upside. Dragged down near the first down marker. Looks to be a little short. It was brought down by Trayvon Thomas, the freshman linebacker from Wauchula, Florida. Quickly to the line are the Muskies. Nunnery drops back, has some pressure, hit as he's thrown, and pass broken up by number 37, Brendan Baugh. Martin Egbo barely missed a sack on Nunnery. Now 3rd down. Handoff to Rivers. Chops his feet. Just able to squeak over the first down marker. It'll move the chains. New set of downs for the Muskies. Nunnery outside. Finds his man Mason Prunick for a pickup about 7. Prunick now has 4 receptions on the game, 26 yards. Nunnery takes it himself. He'll be dropped at the 45-yard line. Another pass, just in and out of the hands of Bryce Kenzie. You can see how fast-paced this Muskies offense is. You see a big lineman on your screen right there, number 70, the senior Joseph Pegas, 6'5", 440 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. Nunnery escapes the pocket, steps up, has to run with it now. Brought down by a combo tackle of Tyler Dudley and Trayvon Thomas. And there's an injury on the field. The Cougar is down. And it looks to be the end of the first quarter as well, as they'll let the clock run out. It was a fast-paced, quick first quarter. The only score so far is a Chartez Nunnery rush on the opening drive. Muskies 7, Cougars nothing. We'll be back with more action after the quick break. It was a short pickup there by the Muskies. It's now 4th and short. As I'm joined in the broadcast booth by Peter Borkowski, who just came from the women's volleyball game. Muskies Nunnery takes it himself, escapes Dudley on the left side. He gets the first down and more. He's knocked out of bounds just at the 32-yard line. Stoppage of play. There's a Cougar down in the field. Walking off the field right now is Brendan Bogg. He'll come to the sideline for the play. So new set of downs for the Muskies. First quarter, 60 rushing yards, 26 passing yards. Nunnery drops back. Able to find Rivers. He does a little shimmy step, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Muskies. Larry Rivers is on the reception. Rivers ran a little in and up, sat in the zone, and was able to scoot past the Cougars defense into the end zone. Muskies 13, Cougars 0, ensuing the extra point try. Kick is up from Doming, and it's good. 14-0 Muskies. Peter, we were talking about it in the pregame show about how explosive this offense is, and you just got here for the first drive of to open up this second quarter. What have you seen so far in those brief plays?
Well, I think you look at Rivers and you look exactly what happened. I mean, obviously he is a huge threat on the ground, third in the nation in rushing yards per game, but he can also do it through the air, as we saw there, got that receiving touchdown. So they're just a very versatile offense who can kill you through the air. They can beat you into the ground. It's very hard to focus on one thing on this offense when they got so much talent spread across the board.
Cougars gained most of their yards in rushing in the first quarter. 73 rushing yards and 25 passing yards. As we wait for the kickoff, Andrew Colley, who did a little squib kick off the side of his foot in his first kickoff. We'll see if he changes the tactic here. He does. He sends it deep. And it's muffed. Picked up, though, by a Cougar. Ball is out. Ball is out at the 10-yard line. And luckily, a Cougar was able to jump on it. Well, that could have been disastrous. Cornell Davis II fumbled the reception, fumbled the kick. Another Cougar went in to try to pick it up. Scooted all the way back to the 8-yard line. So Cougars start the second quarter deep in their own territory.
Say this is a stingent Muskies defense as well. You need to get everything you can through that special teams play. Starting this far back in their own end is never going to help, especially against a defense of this caliber.
Two receivers to the left, one to the right, and a tight end too. They hand off to Daniels. He has a nice lane. But a good tackle there from number 41, Carlos Ozels. It's his third tackle of the game. Second and 8. Waiting for the signs from Coach Russman. Prattley back, sends Daniels in motion. Defense jumps, flags fly. We'll wait to see what the official says.
Delay of game called on the Cougars. So that'll push them back an additional 5 yards. So far for the Cougars, 5 penalties. Excuse me, 4 now. 4 penalties for 25 yards. They've been hurting themselves after getting big plays, and this is not what you want to see, Peter, especially deep in your own territory.
No, well, and against a team as good as the Muskies, you need your game plan to go perfectly. And when you keep shooting yourself in the foot because of penalties, well, that never helps.
Hand off to Daniels, up the gut. In on the tackle, Shazon Crutcher, as well as some other Muskies. 3rd and 7. Cougars so far in the day only 1 of 3 from 3rd down.
Say Muskies did allow 66% 3rd down conversions their last game.
And another false start for the Cougars. The officials will convene, but I saw a couple red jerseys jump before the ball was snapped.
Well, you saw right after the whistles, looked like Prattley was pointing to the other side. Maybe he thinks a Muskie jumped off, but
so the Cougars have trekked back 10 yards in the last 2 plays, even though they haven't recorded a play from scrimmage yet.
yeah, just communication, just getting your stuff together. There's not a whole lot to it. You got to get those basics down, especially if you want to beat a team as good as Lakeland.
So ball is moved back 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and 12. Prattley rolls right, sets his feet, finds a man. Intended for McKinney. But there were 2 Lakeland defenders in the area. So the Cougars will come off the field. And on that, Peter, it was double coverage on McKinney, but not a lot of options for Prattley to go through. So what are you expecting here from the Cougar defense after they're going to have to punt this away again?
Well, like I said earlier, Carter, it's just kind of hard to focus in. Yes, you could focus in on stopping Rivers, but then you got that air raid offense. You focus on the air raid, and you got to worry about Rivers. So it's just kind of hard to pinpoint one thing to really focus on other than just good all-around defense.
Prattley back in the punt. Gets knocked down, and he's picked up. Kensey on the left side and is knocked out of bounds. But that's the interesting thing, too, Peter, is now that Jordan Sepulveda is not the quarterback, Troy Prattley steps into the role. He's also the punter for the team, so you have to be extra cautious if you're the Cougars. Make sure he's not getting hurt.
I was going to say, ideally, a punter is not getting touched much to begin with, but anytime you have your starting quarterback on the field in any other circumstance than playing quarterback, obviously there is an injury concern.
So great field position for the Muskies. They get the ball at the 21-yard line in Cougar territory. Trips right, spread formation. Nunnery moves out. And 2 Cougars run into each other. But the pass is hauled in by Bryce Kensey.
So we've seen it so far, rushed for the first touchdown, but Nunnery's got a great set of legs under him. Second on the team in rushing yards with 380. So not only using it to escape pressure, but as we saw to start the game, also get some points on the board.
About 2nd and 4. 6-yard reception. Nunnery looking for his man on the left side. He'll escape pressure. He'll take it himself. Chased down from behind by Justin Aduo. But he had Lenny Woods in his sight as well. There was a lone man. They had one-on-one coverage on the left side. He just tucked it away and ran away.
So Cougars defense is doing a good job getting to Nunnery, but they just aren't able to capitalize on all the times.
Contain is key. Rivers lunging for the end zone, brought down at the 2-yard line. Right now, it just looks like the Cougars are getting worn down by this fast-paced and explosive Muskies offense.
Well, again, yep.
2nd and 2. They hand it off to Rivers. Spin move. But he gets clobbered by 3 Cougars. Tyler Dudley in on the tackle, as well as Marquise Overstreet.
When you got a running back as dangerous as Rivers, you can't just keep pounding the rock and wearing these defenses down. And just as they're starting to get tired, that's when you hit them with a huge throw through the air, which Nunnery is completely capable of doing.
So big play here. 3rd and goal. Hand off to Rivers and a touchdown. Another touchdown for Larry Rivers. It's his 2nd on the game. 1st rushing. And now the Muskies up 20-0.
Yeah, next drive going to be huge for the Cougars. Don't want to fall in a hole too big to a good team like the Muskies. So coming after the point after and then the kickoff. Cougars got to get their stuff in motion.
We mentioned the Muskies 4-1 on the season, 2-1 in conference. Extra point is good, 21-0. And they're currently in the hunt for that top spot in the NAC Conference. We'll take a quick break and bring you more football here on Homecoming Saturday on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call. Lakeland, CUC, NAC Saturday football. All the other teams are playing. We'll get you those score updates in a little bit. Muskies just scored on a 3-yard touchdown run from Larry Rivers. And on the kickoff, Cougars trying to go right to left. Almost brought down and stayed up was Drew Elliott. Forward progress marked about the 17-yard line. And so far, this Cougars offense hasn't been able to get anything going, partly because of the fact they have 5 penalties, and 3 of them have been on false starts or a delay of game.
Yeah, false start, delay of games. I think those are just kind of the worst kinds of penalties because it's just communication. It's talking things through, knowing where you need to be, when you need to be.
Cougars at the 17. Pass over the middle, intercepted. Bradley's pass is picked off by Shazon Crutcher. Bradley was looking for the slant route across the middle, but Crutcher read it like a book and snatched it up, and now Lakeland scored again, 27-0.
Say 3rd interception on the year for Crutcher. You got to be careful when he's in the vicinity. Like you said, Carter, I think he just saw that one all the way.
One thing you're taught as a defensive back or a linebacker on pass plays is read the eyes of the quarterback, and it'll take you to the play. Just like that, Troy Pratley's pass intercepted by Shazon Crutcher. Another extra point, another Lakeland score. It's 28-0.
You mentioned reading the eyes, Carter, and that's probably a thing about having a freshman at quarterback right now is that he doesn't have too much experience, learning how to not do that, learning how to throw off the defenses. So having that inexperience right now, Crutcher is able to take full advantage of that.
I think also, too, they haven't really tried to throw the ball deep. So when you know a team like CUC isn't throwing the ball past 20 yards, you can cheat your linebackers up and start looking for those short crossing routes.
No, definitely. I think that's kind of CUC's identity is shorter passes and then rely on Daniels to be your workhorse. And, yeah, teams pick up on that really easily. And then when you got a player as good as Crutcher up the middle, that's when you get pickoffs like that.
So Lakeland will kick off again, 28-0. As you mentioned last week, they lost to Benedictine and looking to get back on track here in River Forest. Andrew Colley been doing the kicking duties on kickoffs all day for the Muskies. Lines up again. Make sure his men are ready. Raises his hand and sends another sidewinder and muffed again by the Cougars. This time there's a better return, and it's brought up to the 40. Drew Elliott is able to scoop up the ball on the ground. But yeah, Peter, it's such a weird way of kicking the ball because it's spun up and down. There is no over-the-top rotation. It's a sidewinder, if you should say.
Yeah, and well, when you got an object as weirdly shaped as a football, it's going to take unpredictable bounces, and those are so hard to play as a return man, especially as it's coming up off the ground.
Now, another thing to be worried about right here is the play clock. Cougars have been having struggles all year, and there's 10 seconds left, and the offense is just getting out there.
Looks like they're going to have to burn through a timeout here.
3, 2, 1. And a timeout taken by Coach Andy Lambert as the play clock we're winding down. We've talked about Coach Lambert. Time to talk about the other man on the other side. Colin Brutton, in his 7th year at the helm of the Lakeland Muskies program, has a career record of 38-23. It's his first and only head coaching job. And so far, he's got the Muskies off to a hot start on the season. While we got the break right here, let's take a look at some of the other scores around the conference. Currently, St. Norbert's and Concordia, Wisconsin are locked into a battle. And the score of that game is in the 4th quarter. Falcons are up 17-14. We have no score from the Rockford, Wisconsin Lutheran College game. Later on in the day, Aurora takes on Eureka at 6 p.m. in Aurora, Illinois. So other teams have bye weeks. Cougars will have one next week before they take on the Warriors of WLC on the 30th. Daniels run up the middle, gains 2 yards. Again, that front three from the Muskies, comprised of Watts, Tomlinson, and Daniels, is a big, big wall that you have to break through if you're a running back.
Yeah, and Daniels is a running back who's best when he's in space, when he's got space to work with. So when you're not giving him that space, that's why we see you get stuffed quite a bit.
Prattley, another fumble on the exchange, picked up by the Muskies, trying to rip it away with the Cougars, and it doesn't happen. DeJaiman Stuckey picks up the fumble from the Cougars. Peter, that's the second time now in this game they've tried to run that jet sweep handoff, and the Prattley-McKinney exchange has fallen to the ground.
Again, I mean, that's just chemistry between your quarterback and whoever he's handing off to. And we've seen this season with the Cougars, they do a lot of quarterback switching. We've seen Prattley a lot. We've seen Sepulveda a lot. So when you don't have that constant factor in there, yeah, that chemistry isn't always going to be there, especially when one of those quarterbacks is a freshman who hasn't had those couple years of experience under his belt.
You got to find a way to stick it in the breadbasket, secure the ball, then you can worry about getting upfield. But it gives good field position again to the Muskies on the 25-yard line. Nunnery drops back, deep ball to the corner of the end zone. Intended man on that was Christian Allen, the freshman wide receiver from Country Club, Illinois. There's a little bit too much on that. 2nd down and 10. Second and 10. Nunnery again to pass. Looking again for a man. And a touchdown this time. Given to Colby Cohen. But flags fly. As we're waiting for the call here. Didn't really seem like anybody was moving besides Cohen and Nunnery. So we'll wait to hear the call. Some of the Lakeland players are walking back to the huddle.
See, their arms are up.
And their arms are up. Here we go. We'll get the call here.
Looks celebratory.
So it was a face mask call on the Cougars. The touchdown stands. And Lakeland scores 34-0. And, I mean, we saw right there, Peter, it doesn't really have to be short games now. As Colby Cohen got a 25-yard touchdown reception.
No. Say, Muskies make a lot out of very little time.
Kick is up and good. Scores now 35-0.
So they got touchdown out of 2 plays. That's all it took for them to get that ball in the end zone. So one stat that really popped out at me from their last game against Benedictine is they possessed the ball for 18 minutes and 19 seconds and still put 40 points up on the board. That's a pretty crazy ratio when you think about it. So this is a team who does not need and doesn't use much time to get into the end zone.
And I'll tell you what, Peter, this Cougars team thrives on holding on to the ball. Time of possession, on average for the Cougars, 32 minutes in a game.
Yeah, you look all season, they outpossess their opponents, but I think they also have some struggles converting that 2 touchdowns and actually putting the ball in the end zone. Teams kind of take a bend, don't break approach against them. They'll let them move downfield, but once they get to that red zone, they're not getting in the end zone.
So the 15-yard face mask penalty is enforced on the kickoff. That puts it at the 50-yard line. Colley with the kick. Short pooch. And this time it was a fair catch. The Cougars just wanted to secure the ball. Dante Knight-Little picked it up. 6'2" freshman from Chicago, Illinois. So here you go, Peter. You're down 35-0. You've had no offensive production besides a couple big plays. What are you telling your guys in the huddle right now if you're Coach Andy Lambert?
Well, I think the first thing is they just got to calm down. We see a reason they are in this hole is just because of shaky play, shaky handoffs, delay of game penalties. So they just got to calm things down and play their game the way they should be playing.
Muskies have been playing disciplined all day, have capitalized on the 3 turnovers from the Cougars, as well as only had 2 penalties for 15 yards. The ball placed at the 22-yard line. That's where the Cougars will start the drive. 8:45 remaining in the second quarter. It was 7-0 going into the second quarter. The Lakeland Muskies have put up 28 points. Bradley hands it off. Daniels spun around, brought down at the line of scrimmage by number 6, Shazon Crutcher. He's having a good day today.
So you mentioned put up 28 points in the quarter. There's still 8.5 minutes left to go in the quarter. So like we were saying, this is an offense that likes to move the ball fast. They don't like taking their time to go downfield.
Crutcher now with 5 total tackles, 3 solo on the game. And in motion to the right side, Prattley drops back, finds Covington over the middle, and that's a good pickup of yards. Christian Covington gets his first reception of the game, and it brings the Cougars closer to midfield. That's the kind of production they need out of their junior wide receiver, 6'2" from Corinth, Texas.
Say those might be the plays they're going to need to use to beat those Muskies. They're not short plays, but they're not long plays either that allow the defense to get to Prattley. Those kind of mid-length plays that move you down the field at a decent rate. Those might be the key to getting some points on the board.
3 seconds on the play clock. Cougars need to get the snap off. They do. They hand it off up the middle. And this time, Amarion Hicks with it. He was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. But going back to what we were saying about Covington, he came into this game tied with McKinney with 18 receptions. He has 240 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Those are the kind of guys you need to get more incorporated in your offense.
Yeah, I think the other thing with the offense is besides Daniels, Lambert doesn't really have a go-to guy. I think there is something to be said about spreading the ball around, but I think he might do it a little too much at times.
Prattley rolling right, wants to do the option, takes it himself. And he's brought down by Bryant Jackson. 6'2" from Chicago, Illinois. Went to Thornwood High School. Not too far from here. So Cougars, 3rd down and 8 on the 43-yard line. 6:19 remaining in the quarter. 10 seconds on the play clock. Warden goes in motion. Prattley rolls left. Looks for a man, winds up, has to tuck it and run. But he's brought down by number 8, Otis Watts. He's the guy we mentioned that has been a beast this entire season for Lakeland. And there you go again, stopping the Cougars.
Say, kind of like their offense, they have so many key players on this defense, it's hard to play around them because when you try and go around one of them, then you're just going to run into another one. That's the benefit of having so many studs on your defense.
So Prattley back to punt. This will be his second punt of the game. Muskies pack the line. They bring the heat. They almost get to him, and a flag flies. That is not a good look if you're a Cougars fan right now. So the Muskies were able to get the punt return picked up nicely. Bryce Kenzie brought it out, and the referee marks it at the 33-yard line. But a Muskie ran into the plant leg of Troy Prattley, and we talked about it earlier. That is one thing you don't want to see when your quarterback is the punter.
Say Prattley was a little slow to get up. He looks like he's fine. He's kind of walking it off. But definitely a concern when your starting quarterback's out there for punts as well.
They brought the heat. They packed the box. They sent 9 guys from what I saw, and they had 1 back as a safety. But this is the break the Cougars have been waiting for as they finally get over the 50-yard line for the first time since the first quarter. And they need to capitalize here for sure with this gift of a penalty on that 15-yard running into the kicker. McKinney in motion. Prattley, quick pass, swings it out to him. Makes a man miss and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Otis Watts able to spring out there and get in pursuit, as well as some other Muskies as well. They're really trying to feed McKinney and get him the open space, but right now, that Lakeland secondary has been doing a good job of just keeping containment and keeping it in front for short gains.
Just about everywhere on the field. It doesn't look like the Cougars can get around them at all.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Prattley pulls it away from McKinney. First one up from the pile, Augustin Diaz. Again, no gain on the play, so the Cougars have a long 3rd and 10.
Say, we're talking about injury concerns with Prattley. You know, not only is he out there throwing as a QB, not only is he out there punting, but now you have him running plays too. That's just a lot of punishment on a guy who doesn't have the biggest frame either. So sometimes you got to question Andy Lambert's security of his quarterback.
5 seconds on the play clock. Timeout called. We'll take a quick break. The Cougars burn through their final timeout of the half. Score is 35. Muskies, Cougars 0. Welcome back. 3:53 left in the second quarter. Cougars have out the ball for almost 5 minutes on this drive of 7 plays. They've gotten 35 yards. Big pickup, though, by Christian Covington on the reception. Third down. Prattley drops back, has to escape pressure, hit while he's thrown. Coming back to the ball is McKinney, and he's able to grab it. Big pickup there on third down, and the Cougars move the chains.
So that's something the Cougars might like about Prattley more than, say, Sepulveda is. He's got a good set of scrambling legs under him. We saw him make full use of it there. Waited till McKinney could come back a little bit towards the ball, hit him for the first down.
After the Cougars had no gain on the first and second down, they were able to find a big one on third. Ty McKinney picked up a big chunk of yardage on the scramble play from the Cougars. Prattley, another pass, drops back, rolling to his left. 3 Muskies chasing him down, does a flip pass, and in and out of the hands of number 32, Charles Colby. Peter, looked like he tried to do a flip, but Colby actually just batted the ball down, which is one thing, that's why you play defense, as some would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that thing was just kind of a duck. The way he was angled, he probably could have gotten his hands on it, but instead went for the bat down. But Prattley trying to make the best out of a desperate situation. If there wasn't a defender there, it might have been turned into a nice play, but there was.
That front 3 for the Lakeland Muskies is really ripping up the Cougars' offensive line, causing havoc. That's a good play there on the edge. Number 32, Charles Colby, again able to bring down the Cougar on the far side. So again, Cougars back in third and long territory. Three receivers to the left. Warden tucked right behind the right tackle, and he's in pass protection. Prattley looking for a big shot, doesn't have it, has to scramble, chases it up, throws a lofty one, out of bounds. Intended receiver was Drew Elliott, and there's a Muskie down on the play.
I do like that from Prattley. Even when he's scrambling and running for his life, he's still looking downfield to try and make the play happen. He's not just giving up on it. He's trying to always make something happen. So I like what I see out of the freshman quarterback.
So while the medical staff attends to that Muskie player, we'll take a moment for a quick pause in our broadcast on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back. Quick break there for you guys before they bring out the field goal unit. Ryan Awyer in for the kick. It's up. It's a wobbly one. No good. Hours now 0 for 2 on the game from field goal range. And it gives the Muskies the chance to score before the end of the half. 2:20 remaining. They're already up 35-0. And Peter, again, kind of stalled drive. But the one thing I do like on the drive that the Cougars did was they started expanding the pass a little bit more. Christian Covington had a really nice reception on third down. Ty McKinney as well. They're really starting to open it up a little bit more because I think they need to.
No, yeah, you can't just rely on Daniels. As good as Daniels has been for the Cougars, defenses can key in onto that and shut him down, again, no matter how good he is. So, yeah, spreading the ball around and finding other guys in this offense to rely on, key for the Cougars.
Daniels, 11 attempts, 32 yards. So the Lakeland Muskies have been doing a good job of shutting him down. Rivers, again, another run. Picks it up, tosses a man to the ground. Strong run from the senior running back. And picks up 9. Quick play here. Another handoff to Rivers, up the middle, inching near midfield. It takes 5 Cougar defenders to bring him down. Ball will be marked at the 49-yard line. And another first down for the Muskies. Chain gain is moving. Just as they get set, the Muskies snap the ball. Nunnery drops back, rolls left, tucks it. There's a flag that flies. And he gets a good gain, able to get to the 35-yard line. Might be coming back, though, as 2 flags were thrown on the play. Holding call on the Muskies, Lucas Dietrich was the culprit of that penalty. Set up 1st and 20. Minute 33 left in the quarter. Muskies have been explosive in the second. After a first half with just only 1 touchdown. Nunnery steps up in the pocket. Another flag flies. Lowers his shoulder and he's brought down. On the outside looks to be Lenny Woods. Came up to chop the feet out of Nunnery. Flag in the backfield. We'll wait for the call. Again, Peter, it looks like another holding call or something.
Yeah, Cougars could get another lucky break here if it is. Not having to do much as the Muskies are just kind of putting themselves back. But we need to see what the call is first.
This time, the holding will be called on Asa Spindler. So it'll be 1st and 30. Nunnery has 3 receivers to his right. Just a snap, pulls it down. Caught and brought up, shimmies his way to the 45 is Bryce Kensey, senior wide receiver from New Orleans, Louisiana. Lakeland hurrying to the ball. Keep in mind they do have all 3 timeouts as we near just under a minute to play in the quarter.
And they've shown they don't need much time to score either.
Looking to get into field goal range. Nunnery drops back. Quick little hitch route. Caught by Demarius Brown. Timeout called. It'll be a pickup. About 5 yards. First timeout taken by the Muskies. Peter, looking at the box score so far in this first half, Cougars 77 rushing yards. Muskies 108. Really, the difference has been in the air as well. 110 for the Muskies. CUC with 64. But for the caliber of offense that we've talked about in this team, right now the Cougars defense has been doing a pretty good job of just holding down the fort so far in the Muskies offense.
Yeah, defense has looked actually pretty good for the Cougars. You remember in the second quarter they got stuck in a lot of bad field positionings because of some turnovers. So all things considering, I think they're playing better than the score represents.
218 total yards of offense for the Muskies. Handoff to Rivers. Good movement and pickup by Rivers. Tyler Dudley in on the tackle. This is one of those number 45, Jelani Warner, junior from East Chicago, Indiana. So 4th and short. Rivers, handoff, brought down by Dudley, but not until he's get the first down. 27.3 seconds remain. 2 timeouts left for the Muskies. They get on the ball. Nunnery drops back again. Looks left, serves right. Ball is out. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Cougars. Jelani Warner jumps on it, and a big play there by looked like number 41, Marcus Overstreet, snapping the arm of Nunnery. Big takeaway for the Cougars, their first of the game.
So they got a good chance here, decent field positioning to get into field goal range. Great turnover there. We saw the Muskies take advantage of some turnovers earlier in the quarter. Let's see if the Cougars can do it now here.
First Cougar takeaway of the game, big way, and stops the Muskies from entering field goal range. Looked like Nunnery was ready to wind up and throw it deep on that one.
I've noticed that with Nunnery is that he does have a pretty lengthy wind up. He likes to get his feet set under him, so his arm is up with the ball for a good amount of time. Defense could get to him, knock that ball out of their hand like we just saw them do.
So Cougars on their own 48-yard line. Quick pass from Pratley, picked off. Another interception, and that was picked off by Rayshawn Brumfield. And again, he read that hitch route perfectly. As soon as the receiver broke, he did as well. And you know what? They didn't score on offense, but the Muskies just scored on defense before the end of the half.
I say that's the thing with the Muskies is that they're such a well-rounded team. They're very good defensively. They're very good offensively. So just because their offense is off the field, that doesn't mean they can't put points up on the board like we just saw them do.
So that is the second interception from Pratley, and 2 touchdowns have come from it. And with 8 seconds left in the half, another field goal attempt for the Muskies. Kick is up, and it's good. 42-0 is our score with 8 seconds remaining in the half. And the homecoming crowd here at Concordia Stadium is silent. We'll take a quick break, bring you the rest of this half, and then we'll get you ready for the halftime festivities here on Concordia. Following the Rayshawn Brumfield interception for a touchdown. Extra point from the Muskies. We await the kickoff to resume play as we end the second quarter. Second quarter is where most of the opponent points have come on the season. 61 points have been scored on the Cougars in the second quarter. And in this game alone, 35 have come in the second. Picked up on the far side by Isaiah Massey. Ball will be placed at the 26-yard line. Three seconds left in the quarter. Brantley gets under center for the first time today. And the Cougars are going to take a knee and go into the half. Not the start you want to see on homecoming, but there's still a half of football to turn things around for the Cougars. Score is 42 Lakeland, 0 Concordia. We'll be back with you after the half. Carter Gledhill with you and Peter Borkowski on the Cougars Sports Network. Well, good afternoon and welcome back inside the broadcast. It's Carter Gledhill. Peter Borkowski with you on Homecoming Saturday on the beautiful campus of Concordia University, Chicago. And we're going to bring you second half coverage of the football game between the visiting Lakeland Muskies and your Concordia University, Chicago Cougars. Peter, not the best half for the Cougars. 42-0 was the score going into halftime. Lakeland put up 35 points in the second quarter, and they've capitalized on a lot of miscues on the Cougars side of the ball.
Yeah, I think that's the key right now, Carter, is just a lot of little sloppy mistakes from the Cougars, keeping them out of this. We see a lot of stuff like delay of game, not getting the snap off in time, and then some handoff trouble. So I think if the Cougars can shape that stuff up, I think their game plan is solid. They just need to start executing a little bit better to get back in this game.
Larry Rivers, one of the stories of the first half. He had 88 rushing yards and a touchdown, as well as a 32-yard reception for a score as well. And it was all that, really. Rivers combined with Nunnery's efforts. And that's how we're here today at 42-0. And we're waiting for the kickoff. Lakeland will kick off to start the second half. As we mentioned, Lakeland in their all-whites and their blue helmets, navy blue. Cougars in their gold helmets and pants, and maroon tops. Christian Covington gets it, finds some room. He's able to barrel his way up to the 38-yard line. So in the first half, the Cougars completed 5 of 10 passes for 64 yards. Rushed for 75. And for Lakeland, pretty split, 110, 110 on their total offense in the first half. An interesting change here at quarterback as Jordan Sepulveda enters the game. Troy Prattley had some fumbling issues and as well as 2 interceptions. First pass for Sepulveda is to Covington. Quick pickup of 2 on the far side. And we were kind of wondering about Prattley's state because of the fact that he got hit on that punt and as well as some of the decision-making that was going on as well. But the freshman had some tough tasks ahead of him against this really, really good and aggressive defense of the Muskies.
I say not an easy start for any quarterback, nonetheless a freshman. So I don't think Prattley necessarily did anything to get him pulled. I think Coach Lambert's just looking for a change, see if Sepulveda can get something going instead.
Sepulveda receives the low snap, looking in the flat, throws it deep. Covington, pass breakup, almost an interception. On that was Jason Wilder. Going to Covington again, so back-to-back plays where the Cougars tried to target Covington. They might as well do so. 6'2", 206. That's a big body you have to try to defend on the outside as a receiver.
Yeah, I like the play calling on that play from Lambert. Move the ball downfield a bit after a shorter pass to get Sepulveda going, see if they continue with a more aggressive play call style.
So it'll be 3rd and 7, ball placed at the 41-yard line. DeAndre Daniels in the backfield. He'll roll out in the flat. Sepulveda fires a deep one. It's a wobbler. It's short. Coming back on the ball was Drew Elliott, and it just squirted out of his fingertips. So a 3-and-out for the Cougars to start the second half.
So I think a good sign from that is that Sepulveda did have plenty of time to throw, especially with that rollout. Got his feet set under him. Obviously, the completions did not come with it, but a good sign of things to come if Sepulveda can keep being that free to throw.
So Prattley still will punt. He gets it off, takes the first bounce around the 30 and takes a nice roll inside of the 20 where it'll settle down. The 17. There's some pushing and shoving during the play. Referees try to break it up. Try to keep everything under control in this game. But the leader of this offense right now for Lakeland, Chartels Nunnery, has had a game, his 2 passing touchdowns as well as a rushing touchdown. And has really been in the driver's seat here to lead this Lakeland charge. As we mentioned, 7th best offense in the nation, averaging 529 yards per game. Hands it off to Rivers. Picked up, shoved down after a 2-yard gain.
So we've seen that a lot from Rivers today. People get to him, they get their hands on him, but he's just a very hard running back to bring down to the ground. That's got to help account for how many yards he gets per game.
Pass over the middle. Given to Prunick. Brought down by Dudley. He's been having a good job so far. And Tyler Dudley's been one of the leaders of the defense in this game. Now with 7 total tackles. Run up the middle. Nunnery takes it. He's able to get across to the first down marker and some more. Cougars shaking up on the play, but we're all right. They got up and they're moving. That was Justin Aduo on the tackle, and he'll come off to the sideline and get checked out by medical staff. Looks to be just shaken up on the play. Nunnery drops back into the flat. Big hit delivered. Number 25, Dion Wilson.
It's a nice hit there. If that hit wasn't there, Rivers had a lot of open space to work with, so good job to bring Rivers down before he can do anything with it.
It was Landon Hoskins on the tackle, what I've been told. Nice reception there. Jalen Rito on the reception. Aljai Pipkins on the tackle for the Cougars. 3rd and short, 3 receivers to the right. Nunnery pulls it, lowers the shoulder. It gets the first down in forward progress and extends a little more. That's the kind of fight you want to see out of your quarterback, especially if it's a rusher.
Yeah, it's almost as if the Muskies have 2 running backs in their disposal between Nunnery and Rivers. They're both very, very good at rushing the ball. That creates some headaches for opposing defenses.
Nunnery had 341 rushing yards coming into today's game, and he's been racking up totals on totals there. Rivers gets another big chunk of yards, 10-yard rush. Tackled by Dudley, moves the chains for another Muskies first down. Nunnery on the day has 34 rushing yards on 9 attempts. And he's been that dual threat quarterback we've seen so much now in the modern day of football. The senior from Liberty, Mississippi has been doing his part this season to get the Muskies to where they are today at a 4-1 record. Drops back in the pocket, steps up. Forward pass. It's on the ground, still out. And they call it an incomplete pass. Whistles blew a little late, but the official in the back, referee, said that the arm was coming forward on the pass breakup. Martin Egbo, he's been all around today for this Cougars front line and has really been making a difference in holding the defense down. 2nd and 10. Fake the play action. Caught and brought down by number 17, Lenny Woods, in on the tackle. Bryce Kensey was on the reception.
Say going back to that incomplete pass, we've seen that a lot from Nunnery. He takes a while to get his throws off, is in his throwing motion for a while. Cougars have been exploiting that.
3rd and 6. Little wobbly on the deflection, but still is able to find a man. And that man is number 88, Jalen Rito. That is his 3rd catch of the game. Picks up a first down for the Muskies. They're back in business. cruising down the field. Hand off to Rivers. Makes a man miss, makes another one, jukes his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Muskies. A 21-yard rush from Larry Rivers. And he keeps adding to this tremendous season he's had.
Say we've seen him do it all today. He can juke players out. He can blow by you with his speed, and then he can just keep on trucking even when you get hands on him. So just an all-around great running back.
Nunnery has 133. I should say Rivers has 130 yards on the game, 2 touchdowns. And he joins Nunnery in the over 100 category as Nunnery has 133 with 2 touchdowns passing and a rushing one as well. But man, that dual head monster that you see from the Muskies is something you have to watch out for in the season. Extra point is good, 49-0 to score here in River Forest. We'll give you some score updates on the other teams that are currently playing as well. As we wait for those scores to come in, I want to take a quick moment to shout out everybody on the production staff of this Cougar Sports Network game. Peter Borkowski, Kayla Jackson, Jaylene Wade, Ryan McGee, Emily Balaban, Sydney Pulaskis-Laher, who is nominated on the homecoming court. Congratulations for her for being recognized for all the work she's done, and Wyatt McLaughlin. Something else, quick tidbit that's interesting, is that Zach Cicero, the senior on the football team, won Homecoming King today. As I could hear throughout the stadium today, your PA announcer, Chandler Kerr, the best in the business, member of our baseball team. Been doing a superb job today on Homecoming, keeping the fans engaged. Some of the scores around the conference. St. Norbert falls to Concordia, Wisconsin, 24-14. Wisconsin Lutheran beats the Regents of Rockford when they were on the road in 49-41. And then later on, the nightcap between Eureka and Aurora at 6 p.m. Trey Warden gets the ball off the kickoff. He gets up to the 24-yard line. That's where the Cougar offense will set up shop.
So we saw Daniel stay on the ground for a little bit after the kickoff. He looks all right. I don't know if it was injury or just frustration, but we see him coming to the sideline.
Looks like he's holding that shoulder down. And you remember in the early goings of the season at Beloit College, he had to leave the game because of it. So hopefully he's all right. And he's just hanging out on the sideline being attended to by the medical staff. So in at running back now is Gabriel Manez, the sophomore. Sepulveda gets dragged down as he was throwing by number 24, Augustin Diaz.
So on that first set of plays with Sepulveda, we saw him roll out a lot, give him a lot of time to get a throw off. Might be wise for the Cougars to go back to that style of play rather than try and turn him into a pocket passer.
Omarion Hicks is in at running back for the Cougars, the freshman from East Point, Georgia. So far in the season, he's had 24 rushing attempts for 93 yards. He used them in the passing game as well, 7 receptions for 62 yards. So 2nd and 10 on the incompleted pass. Parker Kelly, too, lines up as a receiver on the near side. As they give the ball to Hicks. Picks up 4 yards to the 3rd and 6. Yeah, but Parker Kellyan is listed as a quarterback on the roster from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. 6'4", 193.
See that? We see that with guys like Prattley, too. Lambert kind of likes to use his quarterbacks in more than just one position, almost like a Taysom Hill type role. So Sepulveda is really the only one I don't think I've seen do anything outside of quarterback.
Sepulveda's more of a pocket passer, and he can get out if he wants to, but only in the scrambles. Nice play action fake. It was deflected at the line. Looked to be touched by one of the Muskies defenders. thinking it was Carlos Ozels. So another 3 and out for the Cougars. They'll punt it away. Prattley back to punt. He's been active today, punting. It'll be his 3rd punt. Muskies let it bounce, and it's picked up by Kenzie. He's got some moves, runs into his own man, and he's finally brought down near midfield by number 42, Trayvon Thomas.
So Kenzie's a guy to watch out for. He's only played in 2 games this year, but he's got 314 receiving yards between those 2 games, an average of 12.6 a play, and 5 touchdowns on top of that. So, once again, adding to that problem that is the Muskies offense, who has just so much talent on it.
So quarterback change here for the Muskies. Lane Sobieski comes in, the junior from Berlin, Wisconsin. Will take snaps for the Muskies. He delivers. His first pass is a completion. Number 6, Chris Crawford. So Chartez Nunnery is out of the game for now. Sobieski will command the offense. And brought down in the backfield by number 99, Julian Ramirez. And it looks to be a flag was called. I think he might have tackled him a little high. We'll wait to see the call. But Ramirez, 6'4" at 240. Trying to tackle number 9, Gabriel Maynes, a 5'6", 185 running back, so big height difference. And they're waiting to get the call now on the field. There's no foul for a face mask is the call from the referee. There'll be a tackle for a loss. And it'll be 3rd and about 4. Sobieski hands it off to Maines. It'll be 4th down for the Muskies. Brought down by Julian Ramirez again. They're keeping the offense out on the field. Trips to the left side, sole receiver to the near side. Number 6, Chris Crawford. Sobieski drops back, looking for a man, throws it up. Intercepted! Intercepted by number 26, Landon Hoskins, the freshman. Able to be a bright spot for this Cougar defense today. It's Hoskins' first interception as a Cougar.
Say Cougars front 7 did a good job getting to Sobieski, something they have done all game, whether it is against Sobieski or Nunnery. Sobieski kind of threw a duck up there hoping for a prayer, and like he said, it was just kind of begging to get picked off by Hoskins.
And you can see right there, good play by Hoskins as he was reading the quarterback, stayed in his zone. And on that, Sobieski tried to do a little bit too much. Had to do it because it was 4th down. Make a play out of nothing after the busted offensive protection. So here they go. The Cougars have the ball on the 36-yard line. Sepulveda fires a quick pass, and that's brought in by Ty McKinney. And it'll be a 1st down. He picks up 11. That play action pass is one thing that the Cougars like to do.
Yeah, we're seeing that with Sepulveda a lot too. A lot of quick releases up the middle. Worked for him on that time as McKinney was able to move the chains.
Trey Warden into the game. He is the far receiver. Sepulveda drops back. Hand in the face and then gets knocked down. He was knocked down initially by Jackson Shearmake. And then after that, Joseph Hargrave finished the job.
We're talking about Sepulveda's quick releases up the middle, moving the chains long, held on for it a little too long there, allowed that lethal Muskies defense to get up in his face, quite literally.
You have two freshmen on the offensive line for the Cougars, center Jared Hart and Christian Duran, the right tackle. They're resetting the play clock. As it was winding down, they'll restart at 25. Now another stoppage of play. Run from Daniels, has some room, and he's got more. He's going to the right side. He's got a man chasing behind him, but he could go all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Cougars. DeAndre Daniels, a 60-yard touchdown run.
First time we've seen Daniels in this half. Looked like he got hurt on that one kickoff, took some time on the bench, and then comes in and pulls that out of nowhere. Great run by Daniels. Great way to use some lanes that the offensive line opened up for him. Get the Cougars on the board.
And that's one of those things that from Daniels, it was a good job of vision. Looking left and then broke it back over the right. Extra point up and good. And as you can see here on your screen, the replay, Daniels shimming his way up the gut and then finally breaks away from the Lakeland defense all the way for the score. Cougars finally score here on homecoming Saturday. Scores now 49-7. And that, Peter, is the kind of explosive plays the Cougars need in order to generate more offense.
I say that's what you come to expect out of Daniels. He hasn't really been able to get it going all day. Finally he's able to rip one off there. If they want any chance of getting back in this game, they're going to need some more plays like that out of him.
Longest play from scrimmage for the Cougars today. And it comes from their man, DeAndre Daniels, who has been the main focal point and heart of the Cougars' offense so far today. He now has 85 yards of offense in that touchdown. And the Cougars line up for the kickoff. Ryan Auer will kick it off for the Cougars. 6:12 remaining in the third quarter. Short kick. Received on the far side at the 20. There's some room to work with. And that was Gabriel Maines, that was able to get that on the far side. Good pickup. They'll bring it out and spot the ball at the 44-yard line.
So another turnover. Be very nice for the Cougars here. Need to get that ball back, put some more points up on the board. Another interception would be nice, especially. It looks like Sobieski's coming back out. Can continue to play quarterback.
I can imagine Sobieski's going to remain in this game for the Muskies as long as the score and the difference upholds. He's got to move, and he tucks it down. And he makes a move, but makes a man miss. Finally is brought down by Landon Hoskins, who was just sitting there in the middle of the field waiting for him. Picks up 9. And look at that, Lakeland's already on the ball, ready to go. Sobieski keeps it himself. We'll have to see where the spot is, but right now it looks like it will be a first down after forward progress.
Say their offense likes to get set quick, get plays off quick, helps keep the defense off balance. They don't have time to get their own feet under them and respond to whatever the offense is setting up.
And that's one of those things, too, that senior Zach Wellens has been doing a really good job so far of getting on the ball as soon as it's been placed. and shooting right up the gap. Number 42, Trevon Thomas, with a big tackle for the Cougars.
See Muskies running the ball a lot now. You got to imagine their main priority is just run that clock down. No real need to put any more points up on the board. They're just looking to avoid injuries at this point.
Second down and 10. Sobieski drops back, has to get out of the way, and is brought down. The first man in on the tackle, Jeremiah Glenn for the Cougars. Brings down Sobieski. The senior from Austin, Texas, getting in on the action today for the Cougars. Third and 15. Ball on the 49-yard line. Sobieski drops back, short pass, not able to be hauled in by Avery Luckett. And the punt unit for the Muskies comes on today for the first time.
So kind of interested in Lakeland's play calling there. Went for a pass, a very short pass too, and they needed to pick up 15. Maybe running the ball and just getting the clock moving would have been a better option, but incompletion stops the clock. Gives the Cougars a little bit more time to work with.
So back to punt for the Muskies is Peyton DeMong. Covington calls for the fair catch. He'll get it at the 19-yard line. And a flag was thrown after the play. We'll see what the call is. As we await from the referee. .346 remaining in the third quarter. Cougars able to strike and get on the board courtesy of a DeAndre Daniels 60-yard run. So there's 2 fouls on the play. That was a legal motion on the offense, on the kick, and then after the play, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called on the Muskies, so an additional 15 yards will be tacked on to the end of that kick. And it'll give the Cougars a little bit more breathing room.
So they see if they could take advantage of it. Yeah, I think they're going to go to Daniels a bit more. See if he got some momentum behind him after that huge run to end their last drive.
So the ball will be placed at the 39-yard line. We wait for the chain gang to get set. And we're back to football. Sepulveda. Quick pass. Gives it to Parker Kelly. And Parker Kelly hauls in the pass. 10 yards, first down.
So that seems to be their main play calling with Sepulveda, are those quick release, mid-range throws. They're working for him so far. Might be the way to beat this quick defense that'll either get to the quarterback or shut you down in the secondary.
Kelly He's had 3 receptions and 32 yards coming into today. He just got that one for 10 yards. So adding to his total. So Sepulveda across the middle, just behind Covington. He missed him on the back shoulder, and if he threw it a little bit more in front, Covington saw nothing but daylight in the end zone.
Say, exact same look, and it would have worked too. Like you said, pass a little behind him. If that was put in his hands, that would have been a huge gain right there. So that seems to be the play calling tactic Cougars are going with right now.
Muskies are packing the box, and they bring the heat. Daniel is able to maneuver his way out of the backfield and picks up 3 yards on the second down run. Leandre Townsend is able to bring down Daniels. Townsend now has 4 total tackles on the game. Carlos Ozels leads the team with 6.
Say Cougars got to get the play off before the clock runs out.
4 seconds, 3, 2, they get it off. And a big hit delivered from the combo. Number 90, Byron Roquist Wallace. And Joseph Schaefer. Nothing there for the Cougars to maneuver around. And Marion Hicks just went to the turf. It's 4th down, and the Cougars are going to punt again.
That drive kind of hurts for the Cougars, considering that one open look to Covington, just a little behind him.
Flags fly. Timeout, I should say, is taken by the Muskies. Like there was some confusion. They were trying to get set. But a Muskies timeout. We'll take a break here as well. 49-7 is the score. Muskies lead the Cougars with 1:50 left in the third quarter here on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars punt unit out on the field. Prattley, low kick, squibbly one, and it rolls all the way. And sits at the 29, 28-yard line where it's finally picked up by Lenny Woods. So Peter, the Cougars are able to get a score in this quarter, and have since then have kind of stalled on offense. What would you say they need to do in order to pick things up and climb back into the game in the late goings here?
Well, they were getting those good mid-range looks we saw. Like you said, Covington, that ball was thrown right behind him. Had he gotten a hand on it, most likely would have been a touchdown. So I think if they can keep doing that, try and avoid that dangerous front seven from the Muskies, they could be moving down the field with a bit more ease.
Pass intended for Chris Crawford. Broken up by number 27, Eric Wade, the freshman from Garland, Texas, and Richardson High School. Muskies on the day, 315 yards of offense. The Cougars, 223. Difference of 11 plays run between each team. The Muskies favor in that category with 57. Pass completed to number 3, Caleb Treadwell. About a 10-yard pickup. And they'll move the chains. Quick pitch over to the running back, number 35, James Calderon. Another freshman getting playing time right now for the Muskies. Timeout taken by the Cougars. We'll take another quick break and bring you the end of the third quarter very shortly. We're back in action here at Concordia University, Chicago at Concordia Stadium. We're at 2nd down and 6. Sobieski flips it over to his man on the side. Caleb Treadwell brought down by number 32, Colson Ethan Pua.
So I don't know if that was the first look for the Muskies. So Sobieski's kind of looking ahead of him. Last second decided to pitch it back. Ended up working out for him. Got a decent chunk of yardage out of it.
So 3rd and 2. Handoff again. That goes to Cauldron. He'll pick up a first down. Short chunks of yardage. Gets about 3.
So like we said earlier, I think killing the clock's just kind of their main priority right now. No real reason to put more points up on the board. Get some underclassmen some playing time as well.
The clock winds down. That's the end of the third quarter. Cougars score. And they have courtesy of DeAndre Daniels' 60-yard touchdown run. We have 15 minutes of football left to play. And we'll bring that to you soon after the break. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call. We'll finish it off strong here on the Cougar Sports Network. Muskies are moving the chains, and they're keeping this drive alive. Sobieski, another handoff to Cauldron. Knee slammed to the turf by the combo tackle of Tyler Dudley and Brendan Baugh.
Say not too much to talk about the play calling here for the Muskies. Lots of rushes, lots of short passes that'll get the ball in the hands of players. It looks like we got an injured Cougar on the field.
Kamari Williams is the one down on the turf right now for the Cougars. Cougars have a bye week next week, and their next game will be at home on October 30th as they take on Wisconsin Lutheran College. For Lakeland, their next game will be against Concordia University, Wisconsin, at home at Taylor Field on the 23rd at 6 p.m. Right now, looking at the standings for the NAC, Benedictine leads the conference with a 4-0 record, 5-1 overall. Aurora 3-0, Concordia, Wisconsin 3-1, Lakeland is 2-1. Eureka 2-2, St. Norbert after that, Rockford, Wisconsin Lutheran College, and Concordia, Wisconsin. Wisconsin Lutheran College and Concordia, Chicago are the only two teams without a win in the conference in conference play. As Wisconsin Lutheran College is also 0-5 on the season. Long pass from Sobieski, intended for number 6, Chris Crawford.
It's the first time we've seen the Muskies really open up in a long time. A lot of conservative play calling to just keep the clock running. Decided to chuck it downfield on that one.
Well, Peter, an interesting thing we saw earlier, too, and I just looked up on the NAC website, is that Wisconsin Lutheran College beat Rockford today 49-41. Upset there for sure in Rockford. Sobieski with the QB keeper. Chased down by Julian Ramirez and pushed out of bounds. It'll be 4th down and short for the Muskies. Decision time here for head coach Colin Brunton.
So it looks like they're going for it.
This will be 4th and 3. Ball is on the 41-yard line.
So they're in that position where if they don't convert, it's not the worst field position for their defense to handle. So might as well go for it.
Cold round to the left, 3 receivers to the left as well. Sobieski steps back and catches, and a bobbled ball by Devin Martin. And a good play by the Cougars secondary to break it up.
Say it looks like it was there, but combination of Cougar secondary and Martin just not being able to get good grip on the ball results in an incompletion.
Looked like Lenny Woods was the one that got a hand on that to break up that potentially scoring touchdown pass from Sobieski.
Say Martin had open field wide in front of him, so good break up there to prevent another score.
So good stop by the Cougars. Defense gives their offense good field position and the 41 on their territory. Sepulveda still in at quarterback. Daniels to his right. McKinney in motion. Low snap. Sepulveda handles it. And he's brought down. Number 18, Leandre Townsend. Sophomore linebacker having a day as well.
Sepulveda's going to have to come out after getting his helmet ripped off. He looks fine, but the rules are the rules. He'll have to come out for a play. Pratley comes back in.
Pratley back in at quarterback. First snap he's taken in the second half.
Imagine they're going to run it here with Pratley back in. See Daniels lining up next to him.
5 seconds on the play clock. Man in motion. Bo's out in the back. Daniels, good stiff arm, creates some separation. Cuts it back in separation. And he's pushed out of bounds by Justin McMahon. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Cougars. The ball precisely at the 50-yard line. Two receivers to the left, man in motion. Hand off to Daniels. He'll go on the backside, and he has some room to run. Daniels to the 30, to the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds by number 29, Jaden Tarver. And a flag comes in at the end, but a big pickup on the game from DeAndre Daniels. And it could put the Cougars inside the red zone if the play stands.
See, Daniels excels at getting around that corner, getting around the line, as we stated earlier, he's got very good vision. He knows where to go, and then he just uses his speed to book it downfield.
So unnecessary roughness adds on to the end of the run. And he'll bring that ball even closer to the goal line for the Cougars. The 35-yard gain for DeAndre Daniels on that rush. Puts him over the 100 mark on the game. Sepulveda, pass over the middle. Intended was Drew Elliott, but broken up again by the Lakeland defense. Number 31, Nathan Carranza.
Say Carranza was all over his man on that one. And very little room to work with from that tightly thrown ball from Sepulveda.
Second and goal for the Cougars. McKinney in motion. Sepulveda pulls it back, throws it into the middle. It looked like it got a hand on it. It was one of the linemen for the Muskies. And they'll bring it back, third and goal.
So Sepulveda kind of threw that into no man's land. I am wondering what his intended target was there. He's also getting pressured, though, by the Muskies defense, so it might have also been a desperation move.
Third and 8, 12:27 left in the game. Hand off to Daniels, does a little shimmy, cuts it back to the middle. Tackled down by a sea of white. And on the tackle, number 3, Justin McMahon. And number 95, Joseph Hargrave. Fourth and goal for the Cougars. You can imagine they're going to keep their offense out there and try to punch this one in.
Say does not look like the field goal unit is coming out, and probably the more logical choice is keeping the offense out there. 3 points isn't going to do much for the Cougars at this point. Try and punch this one in the end zone.
Ball on the left hash. 3 receivers to the right. Sepulveda drops back, throws it, intercepted in the end zone by number 29, Jaden Tarver. The freshman picks off Sepulveda and slams the door on another potential scoring chance for the Cougars.
So we've seen the Lakeland defense, especially that secondary and that middle linebacker group, do that all game, reading the quarterback's eyes, whether it's Pratley or Sepulveda. Such a dangerous group you have to work against. See him capitalize on it there again with another interception.
That's Sepulveda's first interception of the game. Lakeland has picked off Concordia quarterbacks 3 times now. Sobieski back in at quarterback. In the shotgun. Looks for a man across the middle. And in and out of the hands. And number 81, Colby Cohen, was able to beat his defender. And it just bobbled it. An incomplete pass.
Second time we've seen the ball go in and out of the Muskies' hands recently. I think that's maybe the point. Maybe that's what happens when you bring out the second unit to kind of kill the clock off. You're going to get a lot more underclassmen mistakes.
Stoppage of play. Looks like the referees are talking. They're going to reset the play clock. Second down and 10. Ball on the 20. Mains to the left side. Play action fake. Easy toss over to number 81, Colby Cohen. But it's in and out and bobbled after a big hit. Big break up there by the Cougar defense.
So he's still down on the field. They're going to bring out the medical team to check him out.
We'll take a quick break while they do that. 11:25 left in the fourth quarter. And this one on the campus of Concordia, Chicago. So Colby Cohen was able to get helped off the field by the medical staff. 3rd down and 10 for the Muskies. Trying to generate some offense here in the fourth quarter. Sobieski drops back, has a man on the far side, and he gets the first down. Good haul in and pick up by number 6, Chris Crawford. Lenny Woods in on the tackle for the Cougars.
Seeing the Muskies throw the ball a lot more than they were in the last quarter when they were just trying to run the ball, keep the clock moving.
Handoff now to Mains. Picks up a first down, gets 11 yards. Brendan Ball on the tackle.
St. Mains did a good job exploiting a hole at that big front 5 opened up for him. Able to pop through, use his speed to gain some yards.
Sobieski, deep fly ball, nothing there. Intended for Chris Crawford. In on the coverage on that far side is Eric Wade. Did a nice job of forcing him to the sideline. Bobble exchange, but able to get picked up. Carrying it this time was Quentin Wilson, a junior from Detroit, Michigan. And on the tackle, number 37 again, Brendan Ball. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 to be exact. Sobieski takes it himself, has some room to work with. Lunges forward to the 38-yard line. And another Muskies first down.
So Muskies offense just kind of chipping away now with this second unit. Not seeing a lot of big plays, but they are steadily making their way downfield.
Running the fundamental plays. Sobieski, another pass right through the hands of Crawford into the Lakeland bench.
So we've seen a lot of drops in the second half, too, from the Muskies. Again, a consequence of when you decide to put your starters away to prevent injuries, bring out some underclassmen, get them some work on the field.
Second down. Rushed up the middle. Not a lot of gain on that one. Went back to the line of scrimmage. Almanzeo Evans was the one on the carry from Madison, Wisconsin. So Cougar front line of defense doing a good job of stuffing the running backs and forcing Sobieski to throw. He does here, quick one-step drop. That goes over to Crawford. He's able to make a man miss, but then he's forced out short of the first down marker. It'll be fourth down. About 4 yards. Offense stays out there for the Muskies. Head coach Broughton doing his thing, not letting the punting team come out. Sobieski drops back, pass over the middle, and it's caught. Breaking into the end zone is Devin Martin. Good read by Sobieski as Martin snuck his way behind the Cougars secondary and adds another score for the Muskies, bringing the score to 55-7.
See, this whole second half, the Muskies have had a lot of open field in front of them, a lot of open looks. Some drop passes have killed those looks, though. You figured at some point one of those was going to connect or get a touchdown out of it. We saw that happen right there.
Little slant route over the middle of the field. And that gets the Muskies another touchdown and another one on the board. So Devin Martin's touchdown reception of 32 yards keeps the Cougars and the Cougar faithful silent as it now brings the score to 56-7 with 8:26 left in the fourth. We'll take a quick break before we get already back for another kickoff here at Concordia Stadium. We're back with more football here at Concordia, Chicago. Score 56 for the Muskies, 7 for the Cougars. It's homecoming Saturday here on the campus of Concordia University of Chicago. A golden legacy has been the theme all week. And it's been a lot of eventful activities going around on campus as Ty McKinney brings it to the right and then reverses course to the left side of the field. Brought down at the 20-yard line to stop forward progress. And the Cougar offense will march back on the field.
Say, like the Cougars to get some different looks on this drive. Good time to try some different stuff out, see what works, see what doesn't work. Keep that in your back pocket for some future games.
And at running back, Amarion Hicks for the Cougars. He'll get the carry here. He's got some room on the left side, but then is held up by the secondary for the Muskies. Gains 2 yards on the carry, 2nd and 8.
Say, nice job by Hicks to get around the corner get maybe a little more yardage than he should have out of that. Move the Cougars up just a little bit down the field.
Matt Glogowski on the tackle, the freshman linebacker from San Diego, California. In the opportunity here. 2nd and 8. Another handoff to Hicks. Finds a lane, lowers the shoulder, breaks through for a first down. Brought down at the 34-yard line. Cougar first down.
It's a nice use of space there from Hicks. Found a good hole that the offensive line opened up for him. Ran right through it, made a move, got the first down.
So Cougars offense trying to dial up something late. Put a couple more points up on the board before the end of this game. Reaching 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They'll keep feeding it to Hicks. And he'll keep doing his thing. A gain of 5 on the play.
So maybe seeing what they got in Hicks. Obviously, Hicks kind of takes a backup role when you got someone like Daniels on the team. See what Hicks can do. Maybe exploit that in some upcoming games. Give Daniels a bit more rest.
Last 3 plays, Hicks has gained 21 yards on the ground. See if they go back to him for a 4th time. They do. Right up the middle. First met by Josh Ramirez. Another first down. Ball be placed at midfield. But now there seems to be a little wear and tear in the Lakeland defense. Some of these second wave players in. And right now, Marion Hicks is getting some carries. As he now has 6 on the day. Cougars have to get it off. They do in time. Little pitch to Hicks. And brought down in the backfield, but the ball pops out. The ball pops out, and the Muskies are going to take it back for another score. Romeo Yang looked to be the one to punch it out of the grasp of Hicks. And Matt Glogowski takes it all the way back. And the Muskies score again on defense. And Peter, this defense, very productive today. Several takeaways, and have been doing their thing to expand upon this ever-growing lead they've had.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Their offense does not have to be on the field for them to put points up on the board. They're just as lethal on the defense as they are on the offense. That's what makes this team so hard to beat.
Another extra point attempt for DeMonge. It's up. And it's good. 62-7 is our score now with 5:30 remaining in the game. The Muskies defense with 6 takeaways on the day. All have led to scores. 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions. And that has been the big difference in this one for sure, Peter.
Yep. Defense leading to offense, that's the key. When you got that great an offense, you want them on the field as much as possible. And having a defense that can create takeaways, that certainly helps with that.
Well, the pep band's playing Shake It Off. CUC dance team. Cheer and stunt, a new program here at CUC in their first year of competition. They'll be making their debut during the winter competition season. They love their showing their support on homecoming weekend. Again, big shout out to our production crew. Justin Bedorstad, CJ Sellner, Chandler Kerr, Sydney Palacios Lawher, Emily Balaban, Ryan McGee, Jaylene Wade, and Kayla Jackson, all doing what you can see behind the scenes so you can watch today's game on the Cougar Sports Network. We appreciate you tuning in as we wait for the kickoff to be played. The ball has fallen off the tee a significant amount of times today, Peter.
Say it is a little breezy out there on the field.
Little windy. It hasn't affected the kicking game too much. It's one of those things that's just aggravating as a kicker, I feel, every time you have to walk up and reset the ball.
Yeah, just a little annoyance thing. Not too much to it, but.
McKinney gets it inside the 10. Has some room to work with, and then is knocked out at the 19-yard line. And that's where the Cougars offense will take the field from.
Well, we saw the Cougars use Hicks a lot in that last drive until the turnover obviously killed the drive. So wonder if they'll continue to use him, see what he's got in his game, or if they'll go to a new game plan, see what else they got. So it looks like we got a quarterback change for the Cougars as well.
Luke Satterley, the sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, and Lincoln Park High School, will step in for the Cougars. And they'll give a handoff to the left side to Amarion Hicks. Picks up 3 yards on the play. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Three receivers to the bottom. Another handoff. And brought down on the far side. Cougars trying to exploit the running game a little bit here. Eric Molina getting the touch on the carry. First one for him today. And he'll stay back there for a couple more snaps. Drop back pass, no good. Satterley's pass is no good. Across the middle of the field. Number 81, Nate Speed the second. So a quick 3 and out for the Cougars. Lakeland will get the ball back with 4:07 remaining in the game.
Say Cougars bringing out another quarterback kind of begs the question, who's it going to be in the next coming weeks? We've seen a pretty fair split between Pratley, Sepulveda. Pratley took the first half today. Sepulveda came in for most of the second half until this recent change. So Andy Lambert, head coach of the Cougars, got some work to do in figuring out who he wants under center.
Ball rolls and rolls all the way to the 35, where it's finally going to be picked up by the Cougars at the 33-yard line. Peter, I think you bring up an interesting point. It's been consistently Pratley and Sepulveda, but right now, Coach Lambert is giving other opportunities to guys such as Satterley, who hasn't really seen much playing time. You get the chance to run a couple plays and get the offense. As you can see, he's not afraid to throw the ball either.
No, yeah. I mean, like you're saying, it's just he's got to see what he's got, and he's got to figure out who's the best option for this team going forward. Is it the senior in Sepulveda? Is it the freshman in Pratley, who we've seen both a bit of? Or is it another option who we haven't seen much of? So just questions that beg to be answered in these upcoming weeks for the Cougars.
So a flag flies as the play starts. Sobieski's pass will be no good. False start is called on the offense. Muskies will move 5 yards backwards. Little bunch receiver group over on the left side. Sobieski with the running back to his left. He'll hand it off to him. Sid Abude with the carry. He'll lose a couple yards on that. Good pursuit from the Cougar front line and secondary to come down and shove it back in there in the backfield. Personal foul called on the Cougars, grabbing the face mask. It'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Say little mistakes that you use this time to work on, cleaning those up, getting your play together, getting the fundamentals down.
So a new first down for the Muskies. Ball is placed at the 38-yard line. We wait for the signals to be called in. 10 seconds on the play clock. Now there's 5.
Say, looks like they'll just get it off. Yep.
Sobieski's pass completed on the far side. That's hauled in by number 22, Khalib Whitley.
Say, interesting to see the difference in play calling in that the first and second half for the Muskies. Second half has been a lot more conservative, a lot more smaller chunks of yardage, while first half was much more about explosive plays from Nunnery and Rivers.
Yeah, so Whitley getting in on the action. Sophomore wide receiver from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Heritage Christian High School, I should say. Now another stop, resetting the play clock. And here we go. 2:44 remains in the game and counting. Sobieski will wait to let this play clock wind down. 2nd and 2. And it'll be another handoff, but he'll keep it this time. QB keeper. And he'll stay inbounds, tackle on the right side. Get a good chunk of yards. He'll get at the 37-yard line. Gutierrez in on the tackles for the Cougars. First down, Muskies.
So you also see this second unit offense takes a little longer to get the calls. Not as much of that fast-paced offense we saw in the first half.
5 seconds left on the play clock. They get the handoff, running it right up the seam. Barreling his way into the secondary is Sid Abdullah, I should say.
Say Muskies in no hurry at all. Get this offense going. Just wind the clock down, prevent any other injuries.
And they'll just do that. Sobieski passes it out into the flat. Gives it to Ty Barrett, the freshman from Lake Forest, Illinois. So the Cougars, as we mentioned, bye week next week. We'll come back home on the 30th to close out the month of October against Wisconsin Lutheran College. And for the Muskies, next week they'll be at home back at Taylor Field to take on the Concordia University Wisconsin Falcons. Handoff left side. Abdullah, another big carry. He'll pick up a good chunk of yards on that. And with that, that'll be the last play of the game. And they'll just let the clock wind down. And that'll be what the final score is. Muskies come to River Forest on homecoming week and play spoiler. In this game, they win by a final score of 63-7. Behind a powerful back and the offense as led by Chartez Nunnery and Larry Rivers. Nunnery finished the game with 139 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Rivers had 130 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. Peter, not the result the Cougars are looking for. A lot of other players got the chance, especially some young ones. What are we going to see? What do you think? How valuable is the bye week, do you think, for this team?
I think very valuable. I mean, on one hand, yes, you don't really want to sit for a week after coming off a loss like this, but on the other hand, it will give the Cougars some time to regroup, give them plenty of time to game plan for their next matchup against Wisconsin Lutheran. So, yes, if they utilize that time correctly, I think it could be a very, very valuable and well-timed bye week for the Cougars.
Muskies improved to 4-1. Cougars dropped to 2-5. They'll value that bye week heavily as they try to search for that first conference win. For Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski, that's us on the broadcast call. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes again. Jaylene Wade, Kayla Jackson, Ryan McGee, Emily Balaban, Chandler Kerr, Sydney Palacios-Laher, on the direction of Justin Bajorseth, Kayla McLeod, and CJ Sellner, and Wyatt McLaughlin. I'm Carter Gledhill. Thank you for tuning in to this football game here on the Cougar Sports Network. And as always, go Cougars.